Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat, and here I am with some big Toonami news. It has been announced that on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, which will be November 30th, we will get a marathon of reruns of Food Wars. Now, the whole block isn't actually going to be a Food Wars marathon because we're still going to have normal new episodes of My Hero Academia at 11 o'clock and a new episode of One Punch Man at 11:30. Then midnight through the rest of the block will be Food Wars. And Food Wars, the episodes that will be rerunning in this marathon will be episodes 12 through 20. So it's not going to be one of those where it starts at the start of the show. And from what I can tell online, there has been a pretty positive reception to this announcement, like with Food Wars, because from what I can tell, it seems like a lot of people kind of just stopped, just kind of lost touch with Food Wars over time, which showed in the ratings since Food Wars has kind of been slipping in the ratings. People like, oh, now I get another chance to watch it here. I want to watch it on Toonami. It'd be interesting considering I think this is still part of. So I guess it'll be delayed a minute or two technically because I think we're still gonna be in the middle of the Forge, the total immersion event that Toonami has, which will be airing, I believe, first commercial break at 11 o'clock. So it's not gonna be in the middle of this marathon. So that's another thing to take note of. And again, I'm fine with this. Like, Food Wars isn't my favorite show in the block, but at least we're still getting a new episode of One Punch Man, which is currently my favorite show of the shows that are currently on Toonami. So I'm pretty fine with this announcement. And I believe another reason, there's a couple of reasons why people think that we're not getting the whole night being this rerun marathon, is that there's probably something to do with the contracts or deals to get My Hero Academia or to get One Punch Man's current seasons that involved them having to air them in consecutive weeks. Because sometimes when you have contracts like that, there's stipulations about specific air dates, and that's plausible here. And another theory, which I think is the more likely theory, is there's an issue with standards and practices and watershed time. Watershed being the old fashioned term for you can't do certain things before a certain time of night. And Food Wars, if you know, Food Wars is a pretty relatively sexual show. A lot of innuendo, a lot of ecchi, a lot of people quote unquote orgasming to food. So maybe because of it, they couldn't air any of it before midnight. Like since Adult Swim is still privy to the standards and practices of Cartoon Network, which is a big reason why anything remotely sexual gets pushed to TVMA. Like for example, the episode of One Punch Man we had this past Saturday was rated TVMA S, which means it was rated mature purely based on sexual content. And the only thing I could point out that was remotely sexual was how one of the monsters was basically a dominatrix. And if that's what triggers a TVMA for sexual content, then that's just sad. Because no nudity, nothing like that actually happened, but because it's suggestive that she can use a whip and like brainwash people, which is actually a pretty awesome power. More you think about it, that gets that aggressive a rating. And again, that's an issue I had way back when in Sword Art Online. That episode of Alicization, the rape episode, I was like, Toonami took the edit and then just added even more edits to it. And I'm more of a purist in terms of I believe in the artist's vision, so I'm generally against censorship and stuff like that. But what do you do? Adult Swim is still kind of tethered to Cartoon Network in this weird way. But again, that's enough of a rant. Again, Food Wars Marathon, November 30th, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. What's your opinions on it? Are you excited there's going to be a night that's nearly entirely Food Wars? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate reading your comments and your opinions. If you like this content, if you want more Toonami news content like this, please like this video, please subscribe, and hit that notification button. I am Super Orange Cat, and that is all.